talk. Hey everybody,
it's BlerdTalk
with Bola and Whitney.
Yeah, BlerdTalk.
And today we have a guest.
Special guest.
Our first guest ever. We're gonna call her Blerd because she's featuring on this episode for a specific reason, y'all. We are going to be talking about the movie Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah.
Can Asians be Blerds?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a people of color.
We're going with Blerds by the BlerdCon definition of inclusivity. So, you know, any underrepresented groups.
Yo, I just want to say, BlerdCon, if y'all are listening, y'all really need to, sponsor Whitney or something because she be calling y'all all the time. But in a good way. Anyway, yes, so we have another Blerd here, our Asian Blerd. Kimlee, say hi. Say hi, Kimlee. Say hi.
Hi.
You're going to have to speak up, my friend. You have to speak up. All right, so as I said, we are talking about Crazy Rich Asians today. That is our main thing.
That's our main topic. Look at us doing good, telling y'all at the beginning of the episode what the episode is about instead of getting 15 minutes in.
Yes.
And be like, oh yeah, by the way.
Yeah. Have you ever listened to our show, Kimlee?
Yes, I have.
So you know that we just kind of go on tangents.
Yes, I
about
do.
Stuff. And we do a lot of singing, which we already did.
I kind of fast forward sometimes.
Oh, dang. Honesty. The foundation of all friendships, right? Anyway, so the first thing we really talk about is what we blurting out about.
Blurting out about.
And so I already explained to you what blurting out means. Don't tell me you forgot. Please, don't tell me you forgot.
Me?
Yes. You didn't forget.
You're nerding out about something?
Exactly, but this time it's called blurting out. So you're blurting out about something.
We're on brand here. We're on brand.
And since you're our guest, we're going to let you go first. So what are you blurting out about?
How about you go first?
Oh, that was very polite and conspicuous of you. Okay, so what am I blurting out about? Oh, yes. So I actually went to a networking event this week. No, not this week. The upper week. Previous week. Anyway, I think that's the word.
Last week?
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
Although previous would have sufficed. Anyway, I went to a networking event. It was called Young Professionals Meetup. But this time, you guys already know that I usually go to something by the Urban League.
Yeah.
I usually go to Urban League Young Professionals.
Oh, okay. I only knew it as Young Professionals. I didn't realize that was part of Urban League.
Yeah, but they usually do something. But there's a bunch of actually young professional groups that are for specific topics or specific demographics or even religious ones. And so actually, this was something that Needle's Eye Ministries had put together. They wanted to get all the different young professional groups together for a mixer. So there was several groups there. And it was a way for them to bring all of their particular people that come to their events to meet other people from other events, from other groups that have events, and kind of get them to converge and talk and share and everything. And so I've heard of Needle's Eye because they're a Christian one. But I never go to their stuff, but I go to Urban League stuff, and so I know all those people. But I went and I grabbed my friend Alan to go, so we kind of had fun joking.
Oh, Alan went with you?
Yes, he did.
Cool.
Shout out to Alan Samuels. Hey, Alan. Thank you for bearing with me, especially since I was late and you were concerned about being there by yourself, and I left you by yourself for about 30 minutes.
That is so wrong, Bola. I wouldn't even go in.
He had plenty of food to occupy him. They had plenty of chicken wings.
See, if it was me, I would have been in my car.
Me too. I was like, Bola, where are you?
Exactly. I'm not going to any networking events. I am an introvert. That just wouldn't be me.
And me, I don't mind just meeting new people. It is awkward, but it's
I like
also
meeting new
okay.
people, but I need a sponsor.
I need an extrovert.
Exactly.
I need my wing person.
Exactly.
My wing talker. And so once I got there, Alan was better because then we were just joking about stuff. But then we were meeting the people I know, and I was like, Alan, I know all the black people. Because I did know most of them because I've been to the Urban League events. But we had a game we were doing. So we were like, you got to talk to 5 people before we leave. And then you got to talk to 5 people. And then we were like, make sure 3 of them are white.
Did I really say that?
We were both talking about that. He's like, go talk to white people. And I was like, I will. And I only talked to 2. So I actually had a penalty. My penalty was when we went to the beach, because we were supposed to go to the beach that weekend. I was supposed to like drink salt water and then like pour it on one of our friends with my mouth.
What?
Yeah, that was the penalty. But we just kind of like
that sounds like a penalty for the other person.
No, it was for me because he had talked more white people than I did.
Water poured onto their head.
Why did you have to do that?
Because it was Anu's birthday. Our friend Anu, it was her birthday, and he just wanted like a really funny penalty. Luckily, we didn't go to the beach, and I didn't have to like die from ingesting the salt water. So. But anyway, the main point of this event was that I went and I found a group that I had never heard of. They were called CreativeMornings. And they're basically a group, they have a meeting like once a month. Friday mornings, very early actually. But basically it's a group of people that are creatives that may not necessarily work in the creative fields, but they can do things. And so they have like a lecture series where somebody comes in to talk about a certain topic or inspire us or whatever. And so you can just get with everybody that comes in this Robinson Theater, way into Richmond, a place I had never been to before. But there's all sorts of people that are grown up, I mean, like really old, young, like we're not grown-ups. There's like really old, young, black, white, everybody, women, female, women, men, everything. A bunch of different kind of people were there, and I thought it was really cool to see all these different people here and at this event. But the main thing was, it was like a really good connector event for me. I ended up sitting next to the editor, the chief editor of the Richmond magazine. I was like, you're what?
That's so cool.
That was cool. So we like shared information. And then the woman that spoke was like, she was also a fellow Nigerian, but she was talking about how she had started an organization called Untold RVA, where it's like she's like a historical tour guide for Black history in the Richmond area. And she like has different things in it that she does throughout the city and all this cool things. She has like this thing called this Gabriel night coming up, or it's like a week-long event named to inspire and just, it was really cool. And I got all her information, but I was just like, yo, all this stuff is happening in the city and I didn't know all this stuff. And I just thought it was cool.
Richmond be coming up, y'all. We live in Richmond and don't even know.
Seriously, as much as everyone knocks Facebook, but this is how I find out about all the stuff that I go to ask both of them in the comment section. If Bola knows where everything is or what's happening or what's going, and I'm like, yeah, because I just look up stuff and I just, why not? So shout out to Facebook for that event, because I be on there all the time. That's how I found out about it, but I was really pleased about finding this group called Creative Mornings. They just meet too early for me, but I sacrificed my hour of work because I really was like, let me go and see what happens. So yeah, but they are just like a connector. You can connect with people who might want to help you with something that you want to do creatively, or you can get a job because they're like a board where they do all that stuff. It's just really cool. So that's what I was blurring out about. Connections and meeting people and networking events, actually producing something interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, that was my long piece. But I'm blurting out about that, y'all.
Want some sauce?
All right, so now we will try our guest again. Come on, Kimlee.
Well, I've been a really boring homebody.
That was not interesting at all.
I just been watching movies all the time. So.
What do we talk about all the time?
Movies.
So
And
tell
TV.
us exactly. Music, so tell us what movies you've been watching.
I tend to rewatch the same things over and over.
Okay.
I watched a lot of movies at the theaters lately.
I know. Okay, so tell us
So
one.
like Slenderman and Meg. You know the Meg, the shark movie?
Oh yeah, I have no interest in watching.
Yeah. I was
What?
like,
It's a
Jaws
shark
on
movie.
steroids.
Well, yeah, I'm not a shark fan, and I'm not like.
So you
what's
definitely don't like
my
Sharknado.
favorite- No, never seen any of the
I've
Sharknados.
seen all the Sharknados.
Oh my gosh, why?
It's so stupid, but it's so funny.
Even the actors,
And you just can't stop watching it.
even the actors that are in Sharknado are like shocked. They don't understand why they.
Oh my god,
So-
the acting is so horrible. I just can't take it, but I cannot stop looking at it.
Exactly. They're even like, we don't know why this is. I think Tara Reid is in there.
She is in it.
She's such a D-list celebrity.
She has like a some kind of saw arm in one of the movies.
They totally took that from The Evil Dead and Army of Darkness
okay.
and Ash vs. Evil Dead. Yeah, which is awesome. But they're totally like.
So you're blurting out about horror and thriller films.
No, actually, the one movie I was talking about that was a book, To All the Boys I Loved before.
Ooh, yes, tell us about that.
So it's like, it's based on a book by Jenny Han, and it's a series, and it just came out on Netflix, and a lot of people, I guess I should say, are blurting out about it.
Hey! Way to use the lingo! I love it!
Like, it has become, like, crazy explosive, because it's a teenage movie, but, I fangirl really hard about that movie.
Trust me. Actually, a lot of people fangirl about the teenage movies, and they're not even teenagers. So
I don't care though. I have no shame. I'll be watching these teens and their antics all the time.
Something about angst is so attractive.
It is.
It's also annoying, but it's also attractive. That's what I think, because everything about a teen romance is so extra and angsty. Yeah, and then you're just like
there's
you
still
love
the promise of tomorrow where things can be wonderful. It's not like the adult romances, so divorce to me.
Like you're just straight to 50 Shades of Grey.
It was just a cute movie, and the fact that the main girl is Asian.
Whoop whoop!
It's just like
representation.
That's exactly.
That's cool. No, that's cool. I really like that. What's the movie called again for the listeners?
To All the Boys I Loved Before.
It's on Netflix, right?
Mm-hmm.
Netflix is popping. Shout out to Netflix. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, and it's a Netflix original, so they're doing some stuff with their original
really
stuff.
They are doing things.
And people can be upset all they want, because I saw this on Twitter, this news story about how Netflix tested doing some ads in between the Netflix original TV shows or movies.
I'm so sick of ads.
They're just they're basically trailers for other Netflix shows or movies. And people were like, I will cancel if you do this.
Oh my God.
And people were like, you guys know how good Netflix is to us. Y'all can watch some freaking promos for stuff that you might like.
My thing is, if they're gonna do that, do it in the beginning. Not in the middle of a movie or TV show.
No, they don't do it in the middle. They're talking about like the episode, like if you're watching a series, in between the episodes.
Oh.
What do you mean? Like
the TV?
Are you talking about like regular TV? Yeah.
No, not in between not in one episode you get a commercial like at the end of the episode before you get to the next one.
Okay. I would be down with that. I would be fine.
I don't mind that.
I don't mind that because
I
like
I'm
learning new things.
Flipping through to see stuff and it played like the Netflix stuff has the autoplay things. I'm like, you think sometimes you'd be annoyed because Netflix sends me the emails. They're like, you might be interested in, and you look at the picture, you're like, heck no, Netflix, this is stupid. You got it wrong. I don't care about this. And then you're on the app, and it starts auto-playing the trailer, and you're like engrossed. You're like, this looks awesome.
Exactly. I like watching trailers, so I wouldn't mind. But I just would like them not to be like YouTube does, where you're in the middle of watching something.
Oh, no,
cut to an ad.
That's not what they're doing.
So
like right in the middle of somebody's sentence, though. I'm like, why? Why?
And it's a long ad half the time.
I know, and then you don't have the option of skipping after 5 seconds every time. And I'm like, 5 seconds is still not going to make me want to buy that thing.
I can't even handle, like, the skipping 5 seconds. I have no patience for it.
I love it. I can't wait I count down with it so that I know when I'm like, click, and then go to the next one or go to my show that I'm actually watching. Sorry.
But whoever made the skip button for Netflix, I praise them because
I think my for like when you want to cut.
When you want to skip the intro.
That is awesome. It's like now instead of watching 5 episodes, I can watch 13. Efficiency in my TV
cuts
watching.
So much time if you add all the minutes up.
It really does.
Yeah, because if you're binge watching, you're just like, I don't need to see the opener.
It's like,
like 15 times.
I've got my catheter right here. I've got my hat with my drink on top, and the thing goes in my mouth. I need to be efficient with my TV watching.
I don't need to recap what I just saw.
I know, right? Yeah, so big ups to Netflix. Yay!
Yeah, Netflix!
Alright, so Whitney, was that your blurt out or you have an actual?
No, that was just my aside.
Oh, okay. I like that. People don't use that. People don't use that word a lot and in the correct way.
Yes, I do like to be rather cultured sometimes.
Yes, you are indeed. Yes, you are indeed. Alright, we're done. Okay.
Alright.
Go.
No, we're not done.
No, I was done with my joking. I was done with my antics. All right, you're next.
Yes. I am blurting out about, I'm going to be cultured for 1 second. Dear Evan Hansen.
Don't tell me you watched it.
I haven't gotten to see it yet, but I am our yearly girls trip that me and my mom and usually my aunt and my cousins go on to. I've begun the planning for that, just getting it all together, so it is confirmed we're going to see Dear Evan Hansen on Broadway in the
Yay!
fall. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited. My mom doesn't know that much about it. And she's like, so what's it about? It was hard for me to really tell her since all of my knowledge on it is based off of the songs. And I was like, she was like, Whitney, already your explanation is just like, she was like, can you condense it? Because you tend to like ramble on. I was like, you know what? Why don't you listen to the soundtrack? She was like, I think I'll be surprised. I was like, yeah, that's right. Don't listen to it. Don't listen to it.
Yeah,
because then you'll go see it and you'll be like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I'll be like, yeah, was it? Yeah. But,
Wait, so you already got the tickets for it?
no, I'm actually buying the tickets for it this weekend.
Oh, cool.
Yep. But that is one thing I'm blurting out about. The other thing I'm blurting out about is
Before you do that, I just want to preface this because all three of us, including Kimlee, our guest, were in a car trip to DC, and she just played this because she loved it so much. So she's the driver, so of course she gets to pick the music, and we cannot complain, and that's okay. I'm down for that.
Complain.
Okay, yes, but I don't have a problem with your car. You pick the music. But she played this...
And it doesn't have to be I'm just saying, okay, people, I am not a, Nazi about my music in the car. If you want to listen to something else, you can, but nobody said anything, so we were listening to Dear Evan Hansen.
We don't want to be rude.
Yeah, but she played this...
It's not rude if
she
you're
played
like,
all the songs for this Broadway show. We were all like, what is this? We could tell it was show tunes because of the, how they were singing,
That's not how the song is.
Oh, I know, I'm just saying. That's Broadway. That's my Broadway voice, okay? My male Broadway voice is singing. Anyway. But we were listening to this stuff and we were just like, Whitney, what is, because it was all disjointed. We didn't know, like which song was the beginning of the show or the end. And then because Broadway music is kind of like storytelling within itself, it tells the story. So we were trying to figure out, is this about teen suicide? Is this about this? We were actually interested in, trying to figure out what the show was about, because we all knew nothing about it. So I just think it's funny that you're just like, we're gonna go for the trip and actually see the movie.
Yes, I'm so excited because, yeah.
That's cool. Alright, what's your next blurty thing?
The other thing I'm blurting out hard about is Steven Universe.
Oh
my
cartoon.
God. Yes, it is so cute and so just, I don't know, so positive and
Is
so
it really that positive?
Yeah, it's super positive, and I also love it because it's very, for a cartoon, not just for a cartoon, just in general, it's also very diverse and inclusive, the cartoon characters, and it's even got some LGBTQ characters on there, so I'm like, this is awesome, and it's so positive, and Steven's surrounded by all these strong women, and he's not this overtly masculine boy, and he's like, oh, these things are so cute, and he's just, it's awesome to see that.
Okay, well, that is cool.
Yeah.
I know you guys were talking about this during BlerdCon.
Yeah, oh my God, we
what are they
blurted
talking
out
about?
so hard about Garnet. I was like, it was full out fangirl, almost like a squeal when she saw somebody cosplaying Garnet, and she ran.
Really?
She was talking to this guy, and she just stopped.
She stopped talking to him, literally, and just ran
squealed
over there.
and just ran. It was so
I love when people do that.
Especially when, because Liqua is
It's
kind
rude,
of
but it's
more
nice.
stoic.
Yes, she doesn't fan.
So
she doesn't look like a fangirl. She can fangirl, but she will never show it. That's how she is. Yeah.
She's cool as cucumber.
Yeah. She just go over there and be like, I'm very excited.
Fangirl squealed and ran over. It was
that was cute to see. So I was like, oh, okay. She really likes this cartoon. Are you a fan of adult cartoons? Is it adult cartoons or cartoons for adults?
No, this is actually a children's cartoon, I would say.
Okay, so there's such thing as adult cartoons? Not like those
Family Guy.
ones. Oh, okay.
So Family Guy and South Park and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. American Dad.
Yeah.
I honestly don't really watch those.
They're not bad.
I like
I haven't
Family
watched it in
Guy.
a long time now.
Oh, and Futurama, I guess you would consider an adult cartoon.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that's not an adult cartoon. Steven Universe is not.
No, it's not. It's it's definitely more so, I guess. It's kind of hard to say geared to little kids. It's kid friendly because I guess you would say it's G, but you know how you go see these animated things and it's adults can appreciate them, and it's you can't even fully appreciate how awesome this show is as a child. And I'm watching it, and I'm sorry, I just like, I'll be watching the show and like squealing to myself.
I remember she was watching it in the hotel. I was like, what is this cartoon she's talking about? I just want to read my comic.
Anime.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
well, that's like more general anyway. Like, I feel like anime is ageless. You just, anybody on any age, anyone can watch it.
Anime is animation, so there's an anime for everyone.
That's true.
But not all animes are for everyone. But
no, but there's
most of them are.
It's like saying
general.
Books are for everyone because there's a there's a genre for everyone. It's a medium more so than a genre. So
awesome. Okay, well that means we are done blurting out, y'all.
Done blurting out.
All right, so
let's go to the opening act.
Oh yeah, we are going to talk about another, I guess, Asian thing because this is the theme of the day. Okay.
Well, I guess the opening act then. Anyway, B, we're going to briefly talk about The Incredibles 2, but before that, we're going to talk about the clip.
Oh, I thought we were just going to talk about the clip and not bother with Incredibles 2.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, let's just do that.
The clip is Asian. So.
Yeah, let's not talk about Incredibles 2.
We rewound and just erased that part.
Let's just say we thought it was awesome.
Yes.
We waited for so long, and now our generation, the elder millennials, are satisfied.
It was so much better than I thought it was going to be, honestly.
So please, tell me what it is that you want to see. Danger!
Yes! Yes! Because I was watching old school 90s Drew Hill and like 90s Joey Lowe, all those old school videos last night. So I was like, I'm here with you on the old school stuff. Oh, good job, Whitney. Anyway, Mystikal was funny.
90s was like the best. Yes,
without
80s were pretty awesome too, but 90s.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So we are going to talk about the short that came on right before Incredibles 2.
The Pixar short. Oh, I love the Pixar shorts.
It's called what, Kimlee?
Bow.
I have to say that when I first saw, I actually knew about this a long time ago. I'm glad that they had put it before that movie, but because I was like, where are we watching? How are we going to see the short? Because I wanted to see it.
I didn't know it was a short. I thought it was a movie because I saw like posts about it. I thought it was gonna be like actual movie. You
mean that long movie about
a
living dumpling? I didn't think it was gonna be long.
I don't know.
There's only so much a dumpling can do, right?
I didn't know what it was gonna be, but I was like, oh, it's so cute.
It is. That was the main thing. I was like, this story is so cute, and then I had actually seen. It was so cute. I had actually seen a behind the scenes clip of the person who had the concept. Mm-hmm. She works for Pixar, I think, and then she was like, not even sure, because she's like a newbie, younger person, and she was not even sure they were going to take her ideas. So she was kind of nervous about it, so she was just like so pleased that they had actually decided to go with her story and, you know, Asian representation, and they just went with something that came from her. And
represent?
I just liked it, and so finally watching it, it was so touching. More than I thought it was going to be.
It was, except for that scene. There was one really disturbing scene.
Oh, yes.
There was a lot of controversy about that scene.
So tell us about the dumplings. Like, why is the dumpling so important to
the whole,
Asian culture?
They're
besides being tasty.
That's true. The whole aspect of it is basically how in Asian culture, the parents don't want the kids to move away. They want them to stay home and keep them as a child forever. So when she lets go, when she has a little dumpling, it reminds me of her kid. But nobody got that until the end of the show. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, I want to say a lot of controversy was, I don't want to be racist on it, but white people didn't get it.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So
I would say American culture didn't get
you just had this mom eating their kid and something, and
it was very jarring.
And a lot of Asian
I was a little traumatized.
You guys don't understand the reference, and I was just okay, I have to see what's going on with this thing.
You know, I'm gonna say this because I did not. this is also just good storytelling on my part because it was a silent short anyway. There was no talking. It was just gestures and sound, but not actual speech.
It spoke, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's you don't know directly what's happening. So I'm in my mind, I'm going with it. There's a dumpling that just comes to life, and then that's it. It's a dumpling person.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. And so when she gets mad because the dumpling person is I'm growing up, I'm a boy now. I'm a teenager now. I'm a grown man now, and I've got a chick. And I'm like, how did a dumpling get a chick? But okay. And I wasn't following along, and then I was like, she just ate her kid. And then it wasn't.
I was so traumatized.
I was so sad about that part. I almost
It didn't make me sad. I was just like,
my mouth like literally fell open when she ate. I was like
well, once the scene where the father had brought home, I'm not gonna lie, because the father, her husband, was in the scene in the beginning, but he just wasn't there for the rest of it. So I'm like,
what happened to
you know what I was thinking? The question I asked myself, I was like, so does he know the dumpling child exists? Like, it's like not the father.
Right?
Not the father. You know what I mean? So I was like, how come he's not commenting about this dumpling child that's living here for years? Or months or whatever it was. But it wasn't until he brought the son home and we saw that the dumpling looked like her son. And I was like, I totally get it. It's not disturbing anymore.
It was still disturbing.
Yeah, it was still disturbing.
But
I get it now. Because like you just said, they don't want their kids to move away. They want them to stay with them and live with them forever until they die. And it's like, that was the way that she could have him forever, was to eat him and ingest him with her forever. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, by that type of logic, then, what's his name? Was it Cronus? He was just fine like that, because he ate all his kids.
Cronus?
Wait, what?
Yeah, he was one of the You're right, one of the Titans.
Oh, well, that's another
before Zeus killed his father, because Cronus was just eating all his kids.
Oh, yeah, that's all another... You're right. From the mythology. Oh, you are so right, but let's not go there. That's Greek, this is Asian. Different cultures.
But I'm saying, there was eating of children.
Eat your kids.
Ew! No! Don't eat your kids. We do not.
Speaking of eating kids, it's so funny because I remember it was one of the beginning seasons of Grey's Anatomy when they were talking about kids, and the character Christina Yang, she was like, the reason that babies have such large heads and big eyes is so that we as adults think they're cute and we don't eat our young.
That's so morbid. That's terrible.
Well, that's what made her and Meredith so awesome. They called them the Twisted Sisters.
Yeah.
Because they were dark.
Twisted, yeah. You can tell.
But in like an awesome way.
I remind you of Joanne. I feel like she would say that. Our other friend who was Asian, who actually did not want to. It's so funny. I went and watched that with her and I knew they're both Asian, but Indian and Korean. So Joanne was like, it's only because of you that I'm here. She said that while the movie was going on, watching Crazy Rich Asians. I'll get into that later, but I just felt like she didn't like it as much as we did. But anyway, but she would say something like that. She said all this morbid, weird stuff all the time. We love you, Joanne, and your eccentricities. Right? Eccentricities?
Yeah, sure. We'll
go with it.
Necessities. It's simple, very necessities. Worry about your worries, all your strife.
Okay, whatever. So Bao was very awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
I enjoyed it.
It is so it's not messed up, but I always cried during the Pixar shorts.
Yes.
This is the first Pixar short I've seen.
What? You didn't watch Moana in the theater?
No.
Oh, that had an awesome short.
I have not seen any Pixar movies in theater.
Oh, you always watch them on my DVD or at home? Yeah, that's
what was the Moana short?
There was a short about a volcano.
Wait, I didn't think that was for Moana. I thought that was for another movie.
Oh, wait. No, it was Big Hero 6. My bad. It was Big Hero 6, not Moana. Because I watched Moana on Netflix, too.
Thing, though.
Oh my god! I was bawling during the volcano.
I haven't seen it, but I do want to see it.
It was really cool.
You should. It's so cute.
That's the only short.
It's so sad because these things are probably 8 minutes long.
Yeah, but they're so
by
meaningful.
the end, I'm bawling my eyes out.
Yeah, and I felt for her because she came back. Her dumpling came back as a real person. So y'all don't be angry. Don't be angry. Just
watch
get
the whole
it.
thing first.
To be honest, I was at the end, I was like, but she still ate the dumpling child.
I know. She ate him so quick though.
You couldn't get over it, right?
I was like, does that mean that the dumpling was never dumpling child, and that was just all in her mind? Because if it wasn't, then that's still messed up.
Yeah, I'm still traumatized by that part.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I cannot. I keep replaying in my head now.
Yeah, because it was weird, but I felt for her so bad. And just culturally, I'm about to get my scholarly blurred on, but that's the difference between, like, I want to say Asian and African cultures, because they're more collectivistic, which is a term that I've already taught all of you, because I know y'all listen to the other episodes, but just in case you haven't, I got this word from cultural theory, because I like theories, that I studied in school. It's communication theory, but it's really about culture and sociology. It's basically this guy, I said basically twice, my bad, but this social psychologist, or sociologist actually, I think he's a sociologist, Geert Hofstede, who's from like the Netherlands or something. He made up these cultural dimensions that basically analyzed certain qualities of nations, and then that, like, those qualities like impact how the people are and how they think and stuff. And so it's like, and they're all in like little dichotomies. So it's like individualism and collectivism. Individualism you see more in Western countries, and you see that the people stress more your personal preference, your personal goals, what you want as a person. And collectivistic means like the collective, as in society, the community, families, and those communities operate differently. So it's like people are not motivated for just themselves; they're motivated for their families, and you see those stark differences because then they value different things. So that's why some children would choose what their parents want them to do in collectivistic societies because they go by the collective, as opposed to Americans who are like, the parents will even tell them, do what you want to do, you know? Yeah. And so it's so different. And so you could see even that in the Bow movie that, like you said, you're like, Americans are like, why would you want your kid to stay around forever? You'll be free, you know? But for those cultures, like in Asia, people still live with their parents even after they're married, you know? It's like, oh, you move into the house now. You got your own little room with your hubby right here, you know? And it's fine. It's not seen as an egregious or weird thing or like, you need to get out of the house. No, it's just normal for them. As opposed, and then family units just live together even beyond. You have generations just living together and that's okay. But we're just like, after a while, like, sometimes in America, they're like, let's put them in a home, you know? So we're like, that's not... So I just wanted to, that's only one of the dimensions, that's the only one we'll talk about. But I just wanted to showcase that before we even get into Asians, the Crazy Rich Asians, because those different cultural things that I noticed are like, it's so real. And I like seeing what I've learned actually displayed in real life. So it's like, oh, I get it, you know? But yeah, that was awesome. And now we're going to talk about
Crazy Rich Asians.
Pew, 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 pew. So,
it's the main act
event. You know what you just sounded like? If you remember Pitch Perfect, the movie, the first one, the best one was the first one, where they had the Asian girl, and she never spoke beyond a whisper. That was, you just do, that reminded me of that because you're just like, what the heck did she say? And then when you got close enough to hear her whisper, she's like, hey, my sister in the womb. She would say random stuff. I'm like, yo, do y'all check what this chick is saying?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I like to set fires for fun.
Yeah. That was another one.
That was like my favorite line.
Anyway, alright, so Crazy Rich Asians. And before this movie came out, they had so much hype. Like, I remember seeing a magazine cover about this like a year before. The two of them were on the two lead actors. One of them is a Richmonder. Constance Wu is from Richmond, Virginia.
We actually, I've got a story, an article that I'll throw in the show notes, guys.
Oh, cool.
The article is, what is it? Why Constance Wu's leading role in Crazy Rich Asians is so freaking important.
Yes. Because it's all about what? That representation.
Representation, y'all.
What?
Yeah.
And so we had already talked about what Black Panther did for all of us, Black peoples. It just kind of opened the door now. So I'm not going to be surprised if I don't see like a movie for, like, well, I guess Coco came out too, right after before Black Panther.
I can't remember.
Was it after Black Panther?
Coco the animation?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the animation, so. But that was like all about Hispanic culture. And so it was like everybody in the movie was Hispanic, but I mean, it is animation. But I just felt like now you've seen that now with the
More
people are
diversity.
getting representation.
Hollywood is finally catching on. It's like, look, inclusion works.
Yes, and what? There's a market for it because why? All these people want to see themselves too, not just you white people. I love you guys though. But no.
Like, I love
We
how
need to
the
see
movie
all of us.
had all Asians in it.
There was not a. You know what's so
There was
funny?
not a
I
single
was
white
actually
person in
when
there.
I
There
saw
was
a white
like,
person.
there was 3 white people.
When I saw a white person, I nudged the people I went with. I was like, "Look, the white people, and they're just in the background." It was on the airplane. That's the only time I saw a white person was on the airplane.
The hotel near the beginning.
Actually, you're right, in the classroom.
Total like asses.
In the classroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. In the classroom and the opening scene. You're right. In the opening scene, which I thought was a mess. Not quality wise, but those racist British people. I just love how she turned them around. She was like, "No, I'm gonna fix this. You don't know what kind of Asian I am. I'm the crazy rich kind." I was gonna say something else, but I'm not gonna do that.
We're trying to keep it PG-13, people.
Well, so everybody knows I like to watch a lot of interviews and stuff because I like to know the processes of everybody involved in the film and how they made it. It's just interesting to me. That's my blurty thing. But so I watched like a bunch of trailers, a bunch of interviews with the cast of Crazy Rich Asians before and after watching the movie, and all of them kept saying that this is what shocked me. This is the first movie since Joy Luck Club that had an all-Asian cast in Hollywood.
That's
and
so
the Joy Luck Club came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
That's
so
sad.
sad, yeah.
That's really sad. So I'm like, dang, this is
that's
long
like
overdue.
that's worse than us.
I honestly cannot think of an Asian movie that was this big.
Yeah. In America. Like, besides
like martial art films, but like...
Yeah.
Just a regular movie.
Yeah. And it's like, well, the martial arts one always had other people in them.
Yeah.
They were just like, okay, Jet Li can be the lead, Jackie Chan can be the lead, but they've always got other songs. Chris Tucker was there, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I love all the Rush Hours, okay? So let me not front. I love all of those. So Kimlee, as an Asian American, please tell us what you think about this.
I love the movie.
Yeah?
Like, I haven't read the book, so I want to read all the series now.
It's a whole series?
There's 3 books.
Really?
Oh, okay. Okay, hold up.
Okay, now we have to blur it out more, okay?
Hold up. You know the guy at the end, Harry Shum Jr.?
Mm-hmm.
You know him. He is going to be... He has a bigger part in the movie, in the book later on, with the girl that you see at the end.
Astrid. I was wondering.
So that's a whole thing itself.
Oh.
And they already talked about making the 2 movies now.
Not gonna lie, when I saw him coming in at the end, I was like, Harry, is things that bad after Glee that you have to get this weak ass part? I was like, how are you coming to the movie and you only in the movie in the last 1 minute?
And he got top billing. Because his name was like the 3rd thing shown in the credits.
Yes, and I was like,
yeah.
I didn't know he was in the movie. I was like,
me
he
neither.
came in, I was like, wait a minute, is that Harry Shum Jr.?
Yeah. I was like, what you doing in here? And then I was like, the movie's over.
Yeah.
Why were you in here?
But I read articles on it, and
that's cool,
he has, like, they're gonna have a whole love interest with him.
All right.
And his scene will be bigger in the next movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited for that. So
I'm excited too because
their wedding hasn't happened yet. Remember?
That's true. That's true. So I meant to. I love that you told us what you thought about the movie, but I meant like for you hearing that stat that I just brought up, or like fact. Let me just say that about that, like the gap between the biggest Asian movie that we had in the past in the 90s and then now. What does that say to you? Like, how do you feel about that? Are you like, do you think it's like long overdue, or it's like, well, I'm not surprised, America, or what do you think? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I want to say both. Like, I'm not surprised there hasn't been that many Asian movies, and like it was long overdue. But it was like when I was watching it was very empowering because I was like, wow, all these like successful Asians in this movie, it makes me want to be successful.
Awesome.
Now you know how all the people from Black Panther felt.
Yeah.
Now you know how we felt when Black Panther came out.
Exactly.
People did not understand.
Representation matters. So
why I watched it 4 times. I paid a full movie ticket price 4 times to watch that movie.
And it's so funny.
And I watched that movie 3 times too.
If you guys haven't gotten a chance to like check out this Twitter highlight story, I'm going to put it in the show notes, but the story thread on Twitter, it's called A Personal Story, shows why representation can be powerful. And it's about this Asian lady, and she's talking about, like, when she was young, and how all these different instances throughout her life of her not wanting to be Asian anymore because of things people have said that were, like, you know, slightly racist and stuff like that. And then getting to college and finding people who were, like, proud to be Asian, and all of a sudden she was like, I'm proud to be, I want to be Asian again. Yeah. And it's like, movies like this, representation just matters so much. When you see people who look like you in these, like, awesome parts, you know, and, you know, something positive, something empowering, it matters to people. So I just think it's awesome.
To me, it's like they're showing them in their truth. Like, that's how they are. There's just because of racism and the Hollywood system, it's almost like, it's like people of color cannot be assumed to be on the same level, or like, oh wow, you can't have a whole movie where like all these black people are doing well actually, or you can't have a movie where all these Asian people are here and they're rich and it's just about them. And I'm like, but you can though, because why, they exist in the world, and they're not like better or less, they can exist this way. And so I think that it's better for Hollywood, especially since they kind of control how people think everywhere else, unfortunately. Like, not to, I think it's in degrees about controlling what people think, but I mean, I remember talking about stuff, how people used to think about black people or African people, and then they watched Black Panther and their ideas changed, and they lived in different parts of the world, because they said, oh yeah, I used to think black people were thugs and all that kind of stuff, and then I was like, Black Panther, this is making them look cool. It's like, now I think black girls are beautiful, and I was like, what? We were always beautiful. But I don't blame, because we've been portrayed so negatively in the past, or just the cool people. And Asians too, they were not like sex symbols or like hot, rich things. And I'm telling you, if you watch Asian media, you will like totally get that out of your mind, that only Asians can be nerdy, ugly, you know, whatever kind of guys. That is not the case. Okay, just look up some K-pop. Okay, you will see the prettiest boys you've ever seen in your life. In your life.
Eyeliner is okay on boys.
Exactly. And so I just like it that they're like, okay, wow, other people in the world could be, you know, other colors, other races, other faces can be of prominence, can be as equal, can be important. Their stories can be shared. Yeah, so that's what I liked about this movie, that it just put it out there now.
It was, and it was a truly great movie.
I enjoyed it.
And that's one thing, because, you know, I've said it before on a previous episode, I'm pretty sure, but I'm like, when you make movies, you can't just throw any type of old movie together. Put your best foot forward. Let's not have the Cain and Abel, I'm just going, here's any old apple god. It's dented. A worm's crawling through it. I took a nibble out of it because I was hungry on the way here to make my offering. But here,
I love you like expounding upon this imagery here.
Sorry, well, like that's the thing. People sometimes say like, oh, well, because it's like in the case of black people, it's like, well, it's a black movie. Let's go see it. It's like, yeah, we're gonna see it, but we're not gonna be happy about it if it's some crap and we just saw it because it's like you got to put your best foot forward, and that's what they did with Black Panther. That's what they did with Crazy Rich Asians. These things are awesome.
Yes. Yeah, like if you watch these movies, you need to go in with an open mind.
Especially if you're, I hate to say it, especially if you're white, to be honest, but some other colors too.
Well, I don't know.
Some black people need to
I didn't really
mind
look around the theater because I actually saw it at AMC Dine-In, and you know it's a smaller theater, but like. Sometimes it's really surprising when you go to see these movies where you're like, you think it's got kind of more geared towards one audience, and you look around, you're like, whoa.
Whitney, yes. I watched this at the Bowtie Theater on a Saturday afternoon. Excuse me. And then I was shocked, because when I came in and I looked at the audience, it was a bunch of older white people.
Yes.
Older generation.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I was like, yo, are we in the right theater? Did I come into like a documentary or something? But I just went upstairs. I just went all the way up to the top. Yeah. I was like, but this was crazy. And I was like, it was a bunch of older people that were watching the movie in there. And I was like, this is cool. And two old black ladies were next to us too.
No,
watching the movie.
I went in there. The morning
Where did
opening,
you go see it?
I went to Commonwealth 20,
Okay.
and I went there like the like the morning it came out.
On Thursday.
On Wednesday.
Oh, wait.
It came out on Wednesday.
Oh, it was Wednesday.
Yeah,
the 15th.
yeah.
It was the 15th.
And
Wednesday.
we're like, we need to go see this movie now.
Mm-hmm.
So we went in there, and of course there's not a lot of people because it was like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But it was all women.
Mm-hmm.
It was all white women.
Mm-hmm.
It was all older white women.
Mm-hmm.
Except for 2 like younger girls I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And then like towards like when the movie was about to start, some Asians came in. I was like, my friend came with me. My friend came with me, and she was white, and I like nudged at her. I was like, look, Asians. Because I saw them standing outside the theater. I was like, they're gonna go see this movie. I know it.
They don't want anyone to see. You know, it's so interesting that we would even assume that. I was like, man, mad Asians gonna be up in the theater. And
I
all
thought
that
there
stuff.
would be more Asians too.
Yeah, and I mean, I liked that. I was like shocked, but I liked it. Not only that,
And it also busts that whole, I guess, Hollywood stereotype. They're like, well, there's not enough of an audience, or, you know, that panel, non-existent audiences or non-existent communities. It's like, no.
They exist.
They exist. And there is a wide market for it. And it's not just Asian people who are going to see it. It's not just, you know, minorities are going to see it. It's got such a wide audience, even though it might be
classic.
Yeah.
Like, another reason why I really like this movie, apart from apart from Asianness, actually. Asianness. This reason why I like this movie is that we have finally gone back to the traditional rom-com that is not full of sex, drugs, and vulgarness. Yeah. And I was like, you guys.
How many rom-coms have drugs in it?
I don't know about drugs. But...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, nowadays, you guys don't know
what rom-coms are you watching?
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Are you sure you're not watching it in softcore?
No. The comedy. You guys don't understand. Some of the comedy movies that come out now are like rom-coms because it's just, I like to call them com-roms because they're more about the comedy than the romance. Like, they're all together. And most of them now, they just talk about all this other stuff. You're just like, why does this have to be in here? Why can't we just have a simple story? Like, nothing crazy, salacious happened in the movie. It was just like a general story and about these 2 people in love, and you just saw it. And I was like, now this is the formula for a good rom-com without all that other stuff that you think you need to appeal to the generation because they're so overexposed, you know? And I was like, see, it's simple. You don't need all that to make a good movie. And
I thought it was even better for the fact that it was such a great Asian influence on it. Because it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Oh like, my gosh. Yes, cinematically. It was so grand.
Pretty. And that made it, I think that elevated it. If it had been the same storyline, but like some other culture, I feel like it wouldn't have been as good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, there, Hollywood. What in your face?
What? Okay. What? Now, let's get into the different tropes, which I want Kimlee to definitely talk to us about the difference and the things that we see. Because I watch a lot of K-dramas. And so when I saw this movie, I was like, this is just like the K-dramas, but just a condensed storyline. Well, what do you mean? Well, because the Korean culture's in, but I was like, but if you look at it, it's like the rich. One thing I noticed with Asian dramas, when I watch Asian media that is like in another language, their issue is not as a problem with race, really, because they're all the same race, of course. But I noticed that their issues...
What do you mean, of course?
Because all the people in the movie and the shows are Asian, because it's what produced, filmed, everything in Asia.
I'm just saying, the of course is...
The status of it.
Fine. Yes, that's the thing that I noticed, that with a lot of... Asian produced TV shows, this is the thing I noticed in their rom-coms and their TV shows and their dramas, is that a lot of the things that cause conflict has to do with class and a financial standing as opposed to anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and I usually always see a rich guy and a poor girl, and then the family come in to try and separate. And that's the formula. Isn't that what happened?
Rich girl.
Huh?
And then you have the evil rich girl.
Yeah, and then you have the evil rich girl who wants to try and snatch him back, and then you have the lovable friends, and then, and then you have the mean mom who does everything she can and like really nasty stuff, like what happened in Crazy Rich Asians. Even like really mean stuff just to get you away from her son. They call you a gold digger, all this kind of stuff. So what do you think? Why do you think that is, Kimlee? Why do you think they emphasize so much on the financial standing?
Like, I honestly have no idea why that is. Like, for me, besides the wealth, Because I don't know why wealth is so important.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can understand, in Asian culture, basically in Asia in general, like, if you live in Southern Asia, it's more like a poor country.
Mm-hmm.
And Korea and Japan and stuff like that, they're more like the richer countries.
Mm-hmm.
But
would you include China?
China's very, I don't know, China's like very half and half.
Yeah, because they have like, it's so big, they have such, they have really poor regions.
So it depends on what
really
area you're from.
Mm-hmm.
Like Beijing and Hong Kong, of course, they're like more like wealthy, populated area.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have southern China.
Okay.
But like, I just don't, I honestly don't understand the wealth in these things. Because I can never understand, like, I'm not rich like that.
So you would play the part of the poor girl who gets the dreamy rich guy.
I wish one day I'll be like a rich girl and a poor guy.
I've seen that.
That would be interesting.
I've seen that in a Korean drama. It was called, the English translation was called, I think, Say I Do or something. This was very different because it was actually an older. Yes, it was. It was a Korean drama. One, I loved it because it was about shoes and fashion, and the woman made shoes. All the Korean dramas are always about an industry, and so that excites me because it's like everything in that particular world. If you're in the fashion, you're just gonna be up in the fashion. If you're in like food making, you're gonna be all up in this food making, and they just show you so much more stuff. They get in there as opposed to your occupation just being a side thing. And some shows in America, like, they just get all up in there about what it takes as part of the story. I like that. But this show, she was very rich. She was single, but you know how in Asian culture you're supposed to be married, but she was like older. And she had a one-night stand with a younger dude who was poorer. And then, of course, lo and behold, she gets knocked up. And so, but the funny thing was, like, so there's this love interest between, and the boy that she got knocked up with, the young man, let's say young man, he actually makes knockoff shoes with his dad. So it's like, he's in an opposing industry to something she doesn't like. She's like, why are you making knockoff shoes? And he's knocked off her shoes at one point. It's so interesting. But then the boy is actually a good shoe designer, but he has no financial standing or any connections to get him there until he has, relations with this woman. And so then you see the dynamic of what people are saying. I had never seen that where it was an older rich woman with a poor young man. And it was very good. I liked it so much. They did not like it as much in Korea, but I liked it a lot.
What was it on?
It was on Drama Fever, Viki, those streaming sites. Yeah, it's called I Do, and it has just watch it. It's really good. The guy's so hot. And he's dark skinned too.
Who is it?
I can't remember his name.
Okay.
But he was hot. Okay, so what's another thing you guys want to talk about Crazy Rich Asians?
I want to talk about, was it
Astrid? Yes, the side character, the side story.
Oh my god.
Story.
Because I was so happy with her moment of empowerment at the end.
Yes.
Because I feel like the entire movie, she almost like, I'm going to make another Grey's Anatomy reference, made herself small for him. Mm-hmm. Like, who she is, she felt like she had to like contain it because he was so insecure. And I just want to say, ladies, if he's a real man, like Astrid said at the end, you don't need to prop himself up. Because, I mean, self-worth shouldn't be external anyway. You should get that from someone else. Of course, you should make sure that you're not, like, consciously, like, demeaning someone. But, yeah.
But she was so... I mean, she was like the best character in the show.
She was so awesome.
She was
I loved her.
Poised,
chill.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that your word is just chill. And I'm like, poised, beautiful, you're like, chill. And I was like, I get you, though. She was very chill.
I haven't watched the show in a while. I was like, oh, dude, that's the chick, the main android from Humans.
Wait,
what?
Astrid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all have probably never seen Humans.
No.
Oh, no, I heard of the show. I never watched it.
Yeah, I haven't watched I don't know, they might be in the 3rd season by now. But it's an AMC show. AMC, yeah. And it's about androids. But, like, the whole world, they have, like, these android, like, helpers. But the one who's, like, invented the androids, he makes, like, actual AI type ones, so they actually...
Oh, interesting.
Free-thinking.
So she's on that show?
Yeah, she's, like, the main kind of android on that show.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because I was looking at her, I was like, oh, snap!
I loved her character so much. I felt like she was the strongest, like the most compassionate in
Yes,
the show, and
she was awesome.
She was brave, but I liked her. She did not try to deny herself.
Yeah.
Like, she kept her status. She's like, I'm gonna buy these $1 million earrings. And I love those earrings, too. I was like, I want more. I want those, too. If I had the money, I would spend it, too. Girl, I would spend it. But she was just, I love her story because it's like you said, Whitney, she tried to make herself small. And it's also because Asian cultures are very patriarchal. So it's like, it's odd for the guy to be making less money.
Yeah.
It's really hard for them, especially since he was a commoner. So he's not even from their world, you know? What's her name? Her name is Gemma Chan?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, anyway. I think she's British, right? Or Australian? She's British?
She was born in the UK.
Yeah,
London.
So she's British because she's an awesome actor.
Yep. See, humans.
Oh, yeah.
Mia. Her character is Mia from Humans.
And so I agree with you. I just felt like he should have just been stronger. I'm just so glad at what she did at the end of the movie.
Yes.
Got rid of his cheating self.
I was like, you son of a.
I was like, you have the best wife and you don't know how to treat her. No.
You can have a kid together.
Yeah.
I know, so now that's
so
like baby mama drama there, you know.
And then you're gonna like, I'm sorry, this is just going back to almost like, not medieval times, but like early 1900s and whatnot, where if a woman was like a strong woman, they would put her in like mental institutions and say she had hysteria. I feel like it's that. You see so many times where guy does something wrong and they try to make you think you're crazy. Or well, if you didn't, what? How did this become me? Who did this? I didn't cheat.
I just almost wish he would have just talked to her about it instead of just going out and cheating and bottling it up. It was almost better if he was like, you know what? This bothers me. Fine, let's talk about it. Fine, I'm going to tell you that I'm using my money to buy out my shoes and I'm not going to hide it anymore. Or like, you having so much money, it threatens me. All right, let's deal with that. Counseling, therapy, which I know a lot of people don't like to do. But still, I was like,
or at the very least, if it's not working, tell them. Don't cheat on the person.
I can see that though, because like referring to like the culture, Asian culture, guys are usually like that. They basically, how you say, saving face.
Yeah, I know.
So they like their pride.
Yeah, men pride is so annoying. Because it's not only in Asian culture, the African cultures, they're like that. They're exactly like that too. Maybe like, okay, you definitely have depression. If you even said the word therapy, they'll just be looking at you like, therapy, get out of my face, I'll be okay. I'll pray to Jesus. That's it.
Yeah, it's not just African culture. Like, I feel like just Black American culture.
Oh yeah, Black men they don't like therapy.
Therapy.
Although the younger generation is now liking it because they're getting on board because a lot of the celebrities now are very open about their therapy, which I like.
And I think that's another thing about representation matters because it's like when you see it, it becomes less taboo. Yeah.
Because before, when you say therapist, you'd be like, oh my God, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
But now it can be like, oh, you're just working out your issues.
Yeah, if you try to hide it, it makes it seem like it's something dirty. But when you're not trying to like keep it undercover, then it's not like this thing that's just looming.
Yeah. All right, another trope thing that I want to talk to you about. So one of my favorite scenes was when the bridal shower or bachelorette party was going on. So the girl that was getting married, there was a wedding in the movie, and the girl that was getting married, she just transformed overnight until it's like this beautiful, awesome thing, and they were going crazy. And I remember seeing the scene where they were like, they're already rich girls, but they were going crazy with all this free stuff. And they were overdone. Some of them were just doing too much. So, like, when it comes to rich Asians, crazy rich Asians, do you think that's true, Kimlee? Is that how they act for real? What do you think? Like, what do you observe? I know you're not one of them, but, what do you observe?
I don't know any rich Asians.
Would you say it's like, oh, that's how they are from, like, maybe from the media depictions, from, like,
animes
I think that's just,
like, the
dramas?
Like, I guess, like, a standard of what people think Asians are, rich Asians are. Because, like, when I saw it, I was like, wait a minute. Where can I go to this? I feel like maybe, like, in actual, like, Asian countries. Like, in Singapore. Because, like, a lot of people think, like, Asian countries.
Go to Singapore.
Singapore, there's a lot of actually rich people there.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at it, like, people think it's a poor country half the time.
It's not.
But my friend is from Singapore and he's there, and I see like all his posts and everything, and you see like these people are actually really rich. They have money. It's because their economy is different.
They're like a nation state. It's very interesting. We were talking about that in one of my classes at VCU. They were talking about how Singapore is like a nation state, and that it's actually up and coming, even though it's like in areas where they're not.
Philippines and stuff too. Malaysia and all that.
They talk about Malaysia a lot too. Yeah. What did you think about the cousins, the Ronnie Chang, and then the crazy one that had the bachelor party on the boat?
Crazy.
What did you?
Oh my god.
He was so crazy. I was like, what the heck is this?
Somebody please throw him overboard.
Oh my god. I just think it's hilarious.
He was
so annoying.
He was an irritating son of a so.
He was just an ass.
What did you guys think of the wedding? The wedding.
Oh my god!
Was that over? The water coming down.
I cried.
Oh my god!
I cried during this wedding because it was so beautiful.
It was.
I legit cried.
The seats had like grass coming up, so you could pretend you were like in some marsh.
When the song started by Kina Gerdis.
Oh yeah, you know who that was?
Yeah, I knew who that was. She's a YouTuber.
Oh.
When she started singing the song, and then she came out in the water in her gown. I started crying.
Did
I was
she
like,
have glitter on her legs, or was that the shoes? Because her legs looked really shiny when she was walking. She kept making sure she made the long strides, and you could see something shiny on her legs.
I think it was just like the shimmer.
Yeah, so
everything.
I didn't know.
But
She had glitter on her legs.
Gown or something? I don't know.
No, the gown was short, so you could see her legs.
I don't know then.
Okay, I was paying attention. I like those kind of details, so I was like, did she put glitter on her legs? Where can I get some? I like glitter.
The whole wedding was just so beautiful.
At
first, when I entered and I saw all like the jungle theme, I was like, "What is going on here?"
Yeah. But it's Crazy Rich Asians.
But when they the whole thing came together, I was like, "Okay."
I like the little middle class family that Aquafina's people were. They were like, they were hilarious. They were like, our home was designed after Versailles. I was like, dang, there's so much gold in here. It's so over the top.
I love all the fashion in her. I love Aquafina's fashion.
Asians are fashionable like crazy. Like, I'm just gonna say that.
Dress and everything. I was like, oh my god.
I was so glad when she.
I love when they rolled up to
the
party, I guess the engagement party, and he was like, "Hey, you want to come in?" And she went in the trunk and she had three or 4.
She had a label. She's like, walk of shame,
that is like legit
cocktail
goals right there. I want to have that in my car.
Oh my gosh, man! I just loved it so bad. Okay, so we need to talk about this for real, y'all.
Real quick, one thing I didn't like about the movie, it's like I noticed this in a lot of like other Asian stuff, is that they don't portray enough plus size Asians.
Oh yes, talk about it.
I was like, why is all these girls are so skinny and beautiful? And I'm just like, where's like the bigger Asians?
I know, and they're there. You're
they're
right.
Behind the scenes,
just like our media too. Plus size is just not. I mean, mostly on Instagram we are popping as plus size girls, but even in our media, still you don't see a lot of them getting that much shine.
Representation still lacking there.
Yeah, it's still like, we don't care. Fat is not cool. I don't know. That's just where it's all over. Yeah. So, and plus Asians are really about being tiny, skinny, you know, so, and actually everywhere, because even my family, my culture too. I've been told by strangers to like slim down. And I'm just like, okay, but I don't know you though. Just because you're Nigerian don't make you my mom. You know? Can we talk about the two lovebirds? The lovebirds. First of all,
he was
Mr. Henry Golding.
His accent made it even
God,
more so. I was like,
yes.
I was like, wait a minute. Why do all these guys have accents?
I wanted to be like, where have you been all my life? How come this is my first time seeing you?
My friend explained to me it's because they all went to, like, all rich people go to English schools.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, so that's why they have all these accents.
They do. And then the actors
I was
also.
like, I'm not mad at it.
Wasn't he fine though?
Yes.
Oh
my god.
He was fine. And I liked his character because it was almost like I felt for him so bad because again, here you have the whole cultural difference about I'm the heir and heir has another meaning in Asia than it is here because it's like heirs are just everywhere. That means you're going to take over the family business. You're going to take over the family business, right? And so it's like he had this whole thing. He was like he's from one of the richest families in the region. And it was like everybody's looking at him. Everybody's watching him. And he can't have his own life because why? In their culture, he's expected to take over. And it was like Even when he was trying to talk about how, oh yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that. And even Astrid had told him, he's like, you've been away too long. Because she's like, you know how it is over here, stop playing. You know? And so, what do you think about that? With Asian culture, it's like, do you think that a lot of times they don't let their children be their own, you know? Not be their own, but like, have their own desires and passions, actually live them out. It's like, they're expected to do what parents want them to do. Like, do you feel like that's a lot... Or that's true.
I think that's somewhat true.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at the movie, because that's based on personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
How Asian parents, they want their kids to be successful,
mm-hmm.
so they want them to go down certain roads,
mm-hmm.
like medical or law and stuff like that,
Just like danger.
or like even like big business conglomerates and
mm-hmm.
stuff. But I think it had a good representation in it.
I think it's true.
Yeah, I think it's like half true and half not true. It depends on how you grow up. Because if you live in America, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in Asia, that's also different too.
Yeah. Speaking of that point, the relationship between her mom, like her mom before she went there, said something that spoke to me because I feel like Asian, like let's say kids whose parents come from other cultures,
mm-hmm.
and you're like the blank American, fill in the blank, you're not just American, you're this American, right? And not just by your color, like white, black, brown, whatever. It's like you're from Mexican American, Nigerian American, Cambodian American, whatever. But it was like her mom said this one thing. She said, your face is Chinese. You speak Chinese. But then she pointed to her heart and her head. She's like, but those are American.
Yeah.
And I was like, somebody gets it. Somebody gets it. Because her mom was telling her that she wanted her to go over there. But at the same time, she knew that it was almost like she would not be accepted, really. Because she'd be like a half them, or she wasn't like them.
Basically,
because of the values. Yeah. And I was like, I felt her so bad because I was like, that's how I feel sometimes. But anyway, I just like really resonated. That part really resonated with me, and the struggle that she was having being in that culture, and the struggle that she was having within herself about how to deal with this whole thing, because she didn't know how rich he was. The lady was taking in the first class. She's like, I think we're in the wrong place. He's like, just sit down. All right.
I want to talk about the end of the movie.
Yes.
Because I thought it was really brilliant. I love movies where it's show, don't tell.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that the mother never came out and said, I accept you. Might not be like totally on board, but I accept you. But it was the symbolism. Like, here's the ring. I'm giving you my ring, which is acceptance. She didn't come in and like, you didn't even see her give it to him. You just saw him open it up, and you knew from the earlier scene that this is her ring. And I thought that was brilliant storytelling wise, and just the way that it happened in the movie.
To piggyback off that, I liked what Constance Wu's character did. What's her name? Rachel? Is her name Rachel in the show?
I think so.
I feel like her name was Rachel.
Yep, you're right.
Rachel Chu, yes. I just felt like her characters...
Chu are you?
Which Chu are you? Yeah, that was funny. There were so many lines and singers in that. But I felt like her way of handling the conflict with the mom, deciding to do it in the mahjong house, playing the game, because we know she's good at games, I guess. Game theory and all that kind of stuff. But the way she handled herself in that moment, and the reason why she decided to decline, even though she loved him, is because she was just a bigger person in that regard. Because not only did they do something really nasty to her, which is like going into her family history, telling her stuff she didn't even know, which I think is really crazy that they like to do that. I see that a lot in Asian dramas, where they will go behind your back, get all this information, find out all this stuff, and then they'll be like, this is why we cannot have her, because there's evidence here. We're like, but you went and got this evidence. How? But she had decided herself to sacrifice their love, because she's like, you know what? I don't want him to have to resent you forever and not choose his family. Because she's like, she don't want to be the one separating and pulling him away. So she's like, you know what? I'm gonna be like, okay, let him find someone else that you guys can agree with, and you guys deal with it, you know. But and then I love the look her mom gave her when she got up, because she's like, you know what, I'm proud of my daughter despite what was going on. And so the way she handled that in that scene, I was like, that girl is smart. And I just felt like that really like made the mom, like his mom, see that, you know, I think that helped with her decision at the end to like, okay, I'm gonna be fine with this, because I'm the mother-in-law. I don't have to be like my mother-in-law was, who you could tell didn't really accept her.
Yeah, and that made me so sad for, I don't know. And it's not just like in the movie. I feel like it's almost like a female thing that you see portrayed a lot, just period. Even in like reality. Yeah, it's like, if this happened to you, if your mother-in-law did this to you, why would you then perpetuate that on someone else? You would think that you would be more understanding and not try to continue that type of feeling. You would remember how that felt and be like, I'm not going to do that to someone else. But you know, I thought about something. I don't know where I heard this quote from. It's probably pretty common, but they say, hurt people hurt people. Yeah.
I hear that all the time.
So like it's using the adjective. So the adjective hurt. So a hurt person, a person who is, you know, hurt inside.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
Okay, yeah.
So
hurt people hurt people.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Final.
Wait, before we go finally.
Oh, okay.
Where was his dad?
You know what to talk
That's so true.
That's the main thing. I was like, why were all the dads like just not
Non-existent? Yeah.
I just thought
it's like
so
the opposite of a Disney movie.
His dad was traveling.
Always then?
Your son is back for a very short period of time. Y'all haven't seen him in a couple of years. You couldn't, you know.
I would have loved the father's take on this, because usually, even though men have to respect women that are older than them too, but they like to assert their authority at times. So I would have been like, what if the dad liked her the whole time and he'd be like telling his wife to like, no, we're gonna accept her. You know what I mean? I just would love to have seen the dynamic of when the father was there, but that wasn't, you know. And then in her life too, she was raised by a single mom. Her father wasn't there either. I mean, the father for the guy exists. He just wasn't in the movie. But yeah, none of the fathers. The only father that was in the movie was Awkwafina's character.
Yeah, that's
and a good point. He was awesome though.
Because like Astrid's father, like where nobody's fathers. Was
yeah, her father wasn't there either. And so you're just like, is this like a community of women and children? Like, the money just flows through the women and children. I don't know. That house, though.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I just wonder how much money they dropped on this movie. With all the locations, the scenery, and all the opulence that was like,
crazy.
It was awesome. Crazy Rich Asians, y'all. Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh, and when they first got to the house, the guards.
I was like, are they in India? And I was like, what's happening here? Oh man, it was. I really liked the movie. I want to watch it.
I like
again.
how it showed the cultural reference and how
the difference.
How Asian families are like they're really connected to each other.
Yeah,
and how they're very family oriented. Like that's real. That's real in life too. Because I was like, wow, this is actually happening. So, and they're like sitting there making dumplings and everything.
That was one of my favorite scenes, actually. I felt bad for her because she was really trying to be very genuine in that scene, and the mom shut her down, and I was like, oh, God.
I love how like the grandmas did for her, though. She liked her.
But no.
Until that one part.
I was like, the grandma knew what's up to, because why they like, no, we have to protect our own, we have to cover our butts, we have to, she's still not one of us. You know,
but I mean, that grandma was kind of cutting too. She was like, you lost your touch." I was like, "Oh."
Get to the mom, She was, because she had never accepted her still.
Yeah, but it was still kind of like, I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cold."
I don't know. You say like, because then at the end of the movie, she's like, she went on that lunch deal after they found the evidence. After they've gathered all the evidence from the private eye. Then she's also there too, like, we don't accept you as our.
Yeah.
I was like, dang.
That part, I was like, no.
I was shocked because she was such like a sweet old lady.
I know.
And then she turned her claws out and she's like, no.
No, you already saw the claws prior to that. You saw the claws with his mom, because that whole comment,
that was
the undercover, because you could see, you were like, okay.
But then this time she released them on Rachel, which I did not see. Yeah. And I didn't think that was going to come because of how they interacted. She was always sweet to her, but almost, I'm not gonna lie, I saw like a hint of fakeness, but I just thought she was being polite. So it was almost like I was either waiting for her to do the claws on Rachel, or she was really going to surprise me and be like totally fine with Rachel, and then it was only going to be his mom that had the problem. I love Michelle Yeoh, by the way.
Yeah, it's interesting. It made me think of Downton Abbey.
Yeah,
the grandmother who is like she's the one who's like, no, I don't like anything new. Like, but then at the end she's like, ha, I'm going to surprise you all.
Oh man! Any final interesting points? Topic things you want to bring about the movie besides its awesomeness?
All of the actors are on point.
Yeah,
they were such good actors. I was like, Michelle Yeoh, she was very awesome in that movie. Even though I hated her character, she was just so good. And like Constance Wu, she was so good, and she's in that one show too.
Off the boat.
Yeah, fresh off the boat.
Fresh off the boat. Yeah.
Yeah, Richmond represents.
Go Richmond. The River City. Okay.
But people don't really notice how good Asians can really act and stuff.
Y'all need to honestly
listeners, people
check
don't
out
give
some Asian media.
enough opportunity.
It's honestly lack of exposure, and I say that because I know that because I grew up when my family was not directly from America. My family was always from somewhere else, and so I always had that in my mind that there's other. So that was always at the front of my mind that, there's other places. Because we watched other things. I watched Indian movies. I watched British football sometimes. I watched just other movies and other medias and other worlds. And so I was always cognizant of these places, but I would talk to other people and they had never heard about this or that person or that kind of phenomenon. And you're just like, I was like, y'all are just watching. Anime's been around for a while. Y'all sleeping. There's more better stuff. I've exposed myself to that different cultures because I wanted to see other mediums. I like how they present themselves, even African movies, as terrible as a lot of them are sometimes, they're coming up a little bit, but it's at least they still got a long way to go. I'm really not. Some African movies are good, like The Wedding Party. Watch it, it's on Netflix. That's a really good Nigerian movie, totally Nigerian. But other ones, anyway. But I like to see them represent themselves in their see how the Africans portray themselves. Regular Joes, this could be a movie here if they would just get that. Oh yeah, you can have rich Africans, you can have rich Asians, you can have all these different scenarios. So I think with Americans, it's just I feel like a lot of times Americans don't get exposed themselves because they're just in the American bubble. It's we only need to focus on ourselves when really there's a lot we don't know, a lot that's been tapered for us, especially when history is involved. And I just feel like just exposing yourself to other things and checking some other stuff out is good.
Variety is the spice of life.
Yeah, that's my last point. Okay?
And I'll just throw one more out there. Free your mind, and the rest will follow. Be colorblind, don't be so shallow.
Although I don't support colorblindness because we do need to recognize color. But you know what the concept is trying to say.
Coming off of that, I actually appreciate all the Asian songs they put in there.
Yes! I was thinking about that.
I was like, I need the soundtrack in my life.
Yes! The soundtrack was really, really good.
You know what? I love that. There was all these popular music that you've heard that other artists sing, but they were all in Chinese. Too. I love the Chinese version of Coldplay's Yellow.
Yes,
that was awesome.
That was so good.
And I meant to. I know that there's some type of Twitter highlight story where they're talking about how I think how the director made some type of heartfelt plea to Coldplay to let them use their music, because Coldplay is one of those bands who they don't really let their music get licensed out to other, because there's some songs that get licensed out.
And stuff is so popular, but you don't hear it in a lot of movies.
You don't hear people singing because I think they keep pretty tight hold on their stuff. But I guess they made a sincere enough entreaty to Coldplay. They're like, you know what? Yeah, you can use it.
I loved hearing the popular songs. Yeah. I was hearing it in the Chinese language, and then I was like, wait a minute, that's this song. Wait a minute, that's that song.
I was like,
it was throughout the whole film.
Yeah.
I thought it was wonderful.
It was awesome.
Yeah, so we love Crazy Rich Asians. We're all about that representation.
That's right.
Check it out, everybody.
It's awesome.
Yes.
And I'm so happy to see, is it like #1 in the box office? It is like killing.
Yes, success, so cha-ching. It makes the world go round. So now they'll be like, oh yeah, we will make Crazy Rich Asians 2 and 3. And
Thank you for telling us about that, Kimmy, because I'm like excited to like see the second movie now with like Astrid and her son's
You
character.
should definitely read the books. I heard the books are a little bit different from the movies.
Okay.
Yeah. It tells a whole, like a little
More
bit different story to it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, we loved it. And there was a makeover scene, which I love in movies. I love the makeover scene.
I love makeover scenes.
They're the best. I was like, yes, I love a good makeover scene. Anyway, we just want to, again, thank you, Kimlee, for being our first guest and coming on and talking about this with us. We heart you so much.
Finger hearts.
Finger hearts. Yeah, finger hearts is the Asian thing. No, this one. This is the little.
what?
This is the finger hearts.
It's a little tiny heart.
Yeah, it's like it's so.
It's a new thing.
It's so cute, but it's also obnoxious. Cause
You guys seen this
stop.
one? What is it
It's
like?
overdone, honestly.
What is it?
Huh? What is that?
What was that?
What was that?
That's just like a hand trick we did.
Yeah.
No, you guys can't see this, but
Yeah,
I was just like, what was
it
that?
Was yeah.
Okay.
It was in my Twitter stories today, and I was like, let me see if I can do this.
You're gonna show us. We're gonna practice this after the show. Actually, do you want to like shout out any of your social media and stuff before we cut? Like your own personal social media, where people can reach you, talk to you, whatever.
No, I'd rather keep it private.
Okay. So Kimlee doesn't want you guys to search her out, y'all. She doesn't. She just wants to talk
you
to
can
us.
check out my Instagram, but
Yeah. So tell them what your name is on Instagram.
my name is Kimlee Kimchi.
Kimlee Kimchi. So that's like at KIM.
LEE, and then Kimchi KIMCHI.
That's right, as in the food. So
Yes.
Kimlee Kimchi. All right, find her, Instagram her, whatever. Thanks again for coming, Kimlee. Yay, Jess.
It was fun. I liked it.
Yay!
Yo!
Oh wow, you haven't done that voice in a long time. All right, so we're signing off, guys. Have an awesome week. Bye. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Please subscribe to our show on whatever podcast listening app you use and share the show with other Blerds and non-Blerd family and friends. And if you like our episode, please rate and review us on iTunes.
The intro and outro music is Twilight by Caption. You can find them on SoundCloud, username Caption, spelled CAPSHUN. The show notes are by Bola, Hansen, and the audio engineering is by Whitney Booker.
And you can contact us by email at blerdtalkbw@gmail.com. And also, don't forget to get social, you guys. You can find us on our social media at Instagram and Twitter, with our @handle being at BlerdTalkBW. And we've got our individual things going on too, y'all. So you can find me, your Blerd Fashionista, on Instagram and Twitter at BolaStoryB. That's B with 2 E's like the insect. And I've got my own personal YouTube channel, just Bola Sade. That's BOLASHADE. D as in dog, E as in elephant.
And this is Whitney. You can find me at my company, Luminavi Studios. The email address is wit@luminavi.com. That's WHIT@LUMENAVI.com. You can also find me on Twitter at Luminavi Studios.